Creatures of the night. Where do I begin? I'm traumatized right now. Absolutely traumatized. If you watch the show, you know exactly why I'm saying I'm traumatized. This was an interesting episode of Dynamite. I think one of the reasons why was the order of the show. I think put a lot of people off. So I don't know if you enjoyed it or not, but there was some very interesting things here. We started off the night with the four-way for the number one contendership for the International Championship. Winner of this match will face Kenneth Omega at Dynasty. I was about to say Wrestle Dynasty. That's a different show. Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm going to say this. Uncle Don is on commentary. Uncle Don, we missed you. You wasn't at Maple Leaf Wrestling this weekend, but we missed you over there as well. He's doing commentary with a boring ass commentary team. They're boring us, but I don't care what anybody say. Love AEW or not, they're boring. Tony Khan, do something about the commentary. I don't know. Now, Mark Davis, our Mark Davis, was pretty much the guy in the match that everybody's taking pins on. He's the fall guy in this match, and I did not like that. I felt like very early you can tell like he's the one who's gonna get pinned. Like it's for the rest of the three of them to pin him, and honestly I was not with it. This was a really great way to start off the show. Everybody has somewhat of a different style, if that makes sense, and it was great to see how everybody was able to clash and also have great chemistry with each other. But once again, the recurring theme was how we gonna pin Mark Davis to get this win. Now, obviously Mark Davis does get pinned to get a win here. However, it was both Speedball Mike Bailey and Ricochet to pin Mark Davis at the same time. Now, while Ricochet is celebrating because his feet was on the ropes anyway, to help hold that pin, the referee didn't see it, but then the referee decides that, okay, we're going to give both of them an opportunity to go against Kenny at Dynasty at the same time, a triple threat match for the AEW International Championship. And honestly, I was just like, well, what the hell? This is what we're starting with early tonight. I'm not with it. I would have preferred it to be one of them. However, with Ricochet being in that match at Dynasty, at least Mike Bailey won't get pinned for Kenny to retain. After this, we get a hype video for Swerve, who is the number one contender for the AEW Championship. We got another little hype video of the Hurt Syndicate doing some gym workout and them being at their match at, what's the last pay-per-view? Whatever that last pay-per-view, Revolution. Honestly, I don't know what y'all on vacation for. Y'all didn't do anything really to the Outrunners. Anybody can beat the Outrunners. That's nothing. After this, we did have CEO going against Billy Starks. Billy Starks has been under the wing of Athena for damn near almost 2 years now. If you're watching Ring of Honor regularly, then you would know about her. She also wrestles in the Indies as well, but she's primarily featured on Ring of Honor. To be honest with you, she's 20 years old. She's doing a lot more than I can do in the ring, yes, but I have not yet felt impressed with her this entire time. And y'all know I've seen every single Ring of Honor episode and pay-per-view, so if I'm saying I'm not yet impressed, I don't know. But I will say this. Our girl CEO puts in charity work to work with Billy Starks, and Billy Starks got a lot of hits in, which I didn't expect. I was kind of hoping to see CEO beat the shit out of her and win, and it was a lot of defense from Billy Starks, which I wasn't expecting. And I was just like, oh, okay, from CEO, very interesting. You know, the TBS title was on the line, and I just didn't really think we was going to see much from Billy Starks. However, CEO makes her look good. I do think she made her look good, and we knew she wasn't going to end up taking the win. And it is what it is. I didn't find this to be very interesting. However, this opens the door to what everybody's really hoping for, which is to see CEO and Athena. A little later on in the night, we get a promo, well, not a promo, but pretty much Renee backstage with Mercedes, and Mercedes is just like, well, who's her mentor? Who's her teacher? Who's the one who taught her how to wrestle? And I was just like, oh shit, here we go. She's talking about Who was it that taught Billy to do what it is that she did earlier that night? And that's how you know that they're definitely cooking to something with Athena. And can I just say, my ovaries are ready? They are fucking ready. This is what I've been hoping for so long. I cannot wait to see these two feuding. Now, someone on the chat just said, would Mercedes go to Ring of Honor? No, she won't. Athena's going to have to come up to the main roster. There's just no way Mercedes doing that type of charity work. After this, we do get to hear from our scumbag, Maxwell Jacob Freeman, who is holding the Hurt Syndicate business card, and he's still thinking about it, basically letting everyone know that come next week, he'll have an answer in terms of if he's joining them or not. Whatever the situation is, historically, I don't feel like groups work for MJF. He's definitely that type of guy who could just handle business on his own. But it would be interesting to see what it would be like for MJF to be part of that group. Now let's talk about the street fight. Yes, the street fight, not main event. The street fight came on like right before fucking 9 o'clock, okay? Which I think threw everybody off. I was just like, whoa, is something wrong? Why is this coming on now? Now, the match started outside, kind of like in the parking lot-ish. They were fighting like in the back of one of those trucks where they had like AEW memorabilia and all this shit back there. Referee out there, and apparently there was a blizzard in Nebraska or something like that. I don't know what the situation was, but it was cold as hell. They bring the fight on into the building. And as they make their way to the ring, I was like, okay, they're just going to fight around throughout the crowd or whatever. They kind of make their way pretty quickly out to the ring. So I was like, okay, maybe it won't be a street fight like what we're thinking. I'm never going to forget what I saw. I'm never going to forget what I saw. The match was not bad. The match was not bad. However, oh my God. It was like, okay, this match, in my opinion, you know what, let me say my opinion at the end. Let me say my opinion at the end. Obviously, there's weapons in the match. These guys are going at it, and I am just like, all right, maybe Copeland might win. Who knows? He might end up taking the win, and we got to see the AEW World Championship again. Oh, God. Adam Copeland has his little friend, Spike. Y'all know that 2x4 with the nails all over it on the top. He hits Moxley with it, and I mean, nothing really happens. And I'm just like, oh shit, he's really hitting him with it. Oh Lord. Then he lays it down onto the mat. And I don't remember exactly what he did. Was it a suplex onto it? I think Adam hits a suplex on John onto Spike. And the spikes got on his back. Now, at first I was like, oh, okay. It probably scratched him a little bit. The thing was just lodged into his back, into his skin and through the muscles and everything. And I was just like, wait, what the hell? And then couldn't get it off. Wheeler Yuta, we love you. We really do love you. Who came on out there to help Moxley take it out. Wheeler Yuta is putting his back into it and everything to pull the thing out of Moxley's back, and you can see like the skin being pulled with it. It's gruesome. It's gruesome and scary. Not what I was expecting. I don't think anybody was expecting to see this at all. I'm thinking about it and I just feel so freaking weird inside just thinking about it, because it was absolutely insane to see. Now, with that being said, Wheeler Yuta, the first one of the soldiers to come on out to help Moxley. Obviously, that whole thing followed with Claudio coming out and Pac, and even Marina came out a little bit later. FTR and them came out. They got their ass whooped real quick, and unfortunately, with a bulldog choke, Moxley ends up taking the win. I'm not even mad that he won. For me, it felt like, despite that whole thing with the spike getting his back, whatever, nothing felt like something that anybody would have wanted to see the rematch again for. Like, nothing truly changed in terms of the outcome or make things feel better. Oh, wait, hold on. Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian came on out there too. Mama Wayne was standing at the stage because there's no way she's going to get physical. And our stepdaddy wasn't even out there. To be honest, nothing felt different in comparison to the ending of the pay-per-view. It just felt like y'all won again, and nothing else of value came from it. So for me, I didn't care. Willow Nightingale came on out there to put her hands on Marina, and once again, I don't even think that's going to even end up in a matchup. And after the whole thing, everybody's clapping and cheering for Adam Copeland, and I'm okay with that. But it was just like, what was the purpose of the rematch? To do the same shit that y'all do every single time? I can see why people are over it. So now, Adam Copeland is laid out in the ring. He's trying to get up. Dax and Cash Wheeler are standing right next to him. He's extended his hand out to Dax for Dax to help him. Dax is just like, oh, nah, bitch, you can just stay there, and just ends up leaving. Cash Wheeler is surprised, and he goes up to Dax like, what are you doing? That's our friend. That's cold. That's a homie. And Dax don't want to hear it. He ends up leaving. Cash Wheeler ends up getting back into the ring to help Adam Copeland, and Willow Nightingale ends up helping him in the crowd, cheers for him, and then that's it. Nothing that happened today other than that spike literally being spiked into damn near Moxley's DNA was different from anything that we ever saw. In my opinion, it didn't even need to be done. I was hoping we were going to see something completely different. Even if that meant Adam Copeland wasn't going to win, I wanted to see something different. And instead, they gave us exactly what they always give us. And honestly, we didn't need this at all. After this, we do have Bandito back there with Renee Paquette. Renee Paquette doing interviews as if her husband ain't fucking doing all this crazy shit in the company. And long story short, Bandito's still upset about the Chris Jericho thing. Why are we talking about Chris Jericho on AEW TV? Save it for Ring of Honor, Tony Khan. And he goes and said that he wants to have a match with Jericho on Dynamite. Remember, Dynamite, we have Collision. We have two collisions. We have one on Saturday and one on Sunday. Tony Khan, it better than motherfucker work there for 2 nights. And he wants to face Chris Jericho. But instead, Johnny TV comes out and say, I could whoop your ass. I want you face me on Collision. And we're going to get that instead. Why? Honestly, I don't know. After this, William Ospreay versus AR Fox. I'm not going to hate on the match because ain't nothing wrong with the match. Ain't nothing wrong with the match other than that William won again. Can I just say, like, I totally understand that, wrestling companies, they're going to have people that are their stars that they're going to have on top. They're going to be winning, and then everybody else is going to lose. But at what point does the cycle shifts where it's just like, the people who are always losing are actually going to win at one point. And it's just like the same situation year in and year out. We know wrestling does not have any off season. So what am I supposed to see? Will Ospreay winning all this year, all next year, all last year too? It's just the same thing over and over. Does Tony Khan not think that we don't like wrestlers like AR Fox, who comes on out there and give us sometimes the best match of the night and nothing? Absolutely nothing. Honestly, I'm kind of over it. I really am. It would have been nice to see something different. But this is Will Ospreay we're talking about. He's the toy of the season, and that's what we're gonna get at least until All In. Because after the match, he goes look behind him, and there's the All In banner back there, and he's staring at it. He wants to main event All In, going for the world title if he wins the Owen Hart Cup. And honestly, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. If we're constantly seeing somebody who's winning all the time, by the time we have the big opportunity to go for a world title at All In, people are going to want to see another winner and not Will Ospreay. For our main event, we have ladies in action. Megan Bayne versus Chris Statlander, 2 beautiful women. Our women's champion, Toni Storm, is just looking amazing on commentary. She's funny as fuck. She's funny as fuck on commentary. And I'm going to say another thing too, because I did address the commentary thing. Not only are the commentators, I'm not going to lie, they're not entertaining. They're not entertaining at all. What is up with Shivani, who's just sitting there acting depressed and shit? Like, something about it is just, it just put a damper on the motherfucking show when y'all act like y'all don't want to be at work. I know plenty of people who would love to sit in your seat, Shivani. If this is too much for you to be doing your job, get your ass up and let somebody else do it. Because honestly, I'm fucking over it. Anyway, Toni Storm on commentary, and she's the only reason why I had the show unmuted at that point. Statlander and Megan, they have had a match before. In my mind, I'm just like, I would love to see Chris Statlander win. I wanted to just feel something different. I don't want to keep seeing... The whole show was predictable, to be honest with you, in terms of outcomes. And I was just like, it would be cool to see Chris Statlander take the win. But of course, we're going to get exactly what you would think would happen before the show actually happens, which is Megan Bayne winning. Penelope was ringside and trying to help Megan throughout the match. Aubrey Edwards, as the referee, actually has her eyes on everything. Ends up seeing Penelope trying to help Megan and told her to get the fuck on out of here because we don't have time for all the shenanigans. Rightfully so. But Megan ends up taking the win anyway. I'm cool with it in a way. I would actually like to see Megan and Tony. Things are moving quick with Megan. When you look at her and you see what she does in the ring, you're just like, it's believable that you can see her being #1 contender. However, she doesn't speak. It's just kind of very two-dimensional right now, and it's like even somebody like me who side with the heels most of the time, I want to find something to like about her, and it's just like what you do in the ring is not enough. I would love to see a lot more, and so far we haven't seen much. After that, Toni Storm, she gets in the ring. Oh, I forgot to say, Megan had threw Statlander onto our champion, so she was hurt for a little bit. And instead of Luther just helping her, he's fanning her like that's supposed to do something. So obviously Toni Storm gets in the ring, calls her a big bitch and all this stuff or whatever. They get into it physically, and the use of security guards are having trouble keeping these two girls away from each other. Whoop-de-doo. Because Megan can't speak, apparently, and Toni Storm literally says this. She ends up saying, hey, you and me at Dynasty. And she makes a whole bunch of sexual lesbian jokes or whatever. That was actually pretty funny. And this is what I'm saying. Like, Toni Storm has worked her way to be here, but being able to speak is part of the thing that makes Toni get over so much with the crowd. You get to see her personality, and she's funny, and she's very witty. And so far with Megan, she's just great in the ring, and I wish we could see a little bit more. So Dynasty is still a few weeks away, so on April 6th. Hopefully we can see a little bit more with Megan, but so far I like her in the ring. I would have loved to see Statlander win. I would have loved to see Statlander get an opportunity to go for the women's title. Has she ever gone at least for an opportunity for the women's title? I can't really remember. But it would have been cool because, a lot of us, we love Statlander. But, hey, Statlander's going to have to move to the side for Megan to get her little opportunity. So we'll see what ends up happening with that Dynasty. The show was very interesting. Tony Khan, I do appreciate you putting the women's dead last instead of that fiasco that happened with Cope and Moxley. I'm looking forward to see what happens this weekend. We got 2 nights of Collision, so hopefully it's a good show. But then again, they're probably going to waste all time with that. You guys, thanks so much for watching my review. Tomorrow, Ring of Honor review. And then I'll see you guys again on Saturday for Collision. And then Sunday for Collision Part 2. See you guys then. Bye.